Okay. So, a very good afternoon, all of you. So, I'll just go for a quick revision what we had done, what we have covered in these 2 days. In these 2 days, what we have covered, we started off with understanding of the universe. What is universe? What are the terms that generally you should know about in universe, like solar system, like you should know solar system, about your comets, meteoroids, meteoroids. Then you should know about asteroid belt, dwarf planet and planets, pole star. The terms that we've seen: universe, dwarf planet, planet, asteroid belt, meteoroid, meteor, then meteorite. Then apart from this, we also saw Oort cloud, Kuiper belt. We saw this in the first class. Okay. We also saw what kind of question they can ask with respect to terms. They had asked once on pole star. They had asked once on the comet, meteor, and the terms related to that. The second class we understood about. We also understood the theory about the formation of universe, Big Bang theory, that there is a tiny ball that exploded. There was nothingness. Then that exploded. As it exploded, that has led to creation of matter, the forces of physics that has led to the nebula, and over the time nebula cooled, contracted, and that has led to formation of various planets, various sun, and the various other stars. That's what we've seen. And हमारा जो solar system था, that was from a disc shaped nebula. As the disc shaped nebula, first majority of the mass went to sun, the less mass went to the formation of planet. They actually, the whole of the planets, they revolve around the same orbital plane, shows that they were part of the same disc shaped nebula. That has been the case. Then we moved on to understanding about that what is the motion that these planets are involved, that the earth is involved, along with some specific details about planets, about Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. What are they composed of? What is their density? What is their atmosphere composed of? That is what we've seen. Then we saw कि क्या motions होते हैं, motions like rotation, motions like revolutions. That's what we've seen. One is the pull towards the sun, and what happens is there is a centrifugal force also. Because of this, what happens? They starts rotating. Rotate करते क्यों हैं? Why do the planets rotate? The reason for rotation is the same one. The sun is pulling. There is an equal and opposite force, and because of this, there is a torque movement. This helps in planet rotation. Why do the planet rotate? This is also because कि sun अपनी तरफ खींच रहा है, उसका counteral balance force है, और उसके बाद torque movement होता है, and then they keep on rotating. Every planet rotates. That is the same reason. Why are they revolving? Because they have been formed from the same nebula. Sun is in the between, and there is a lot of force that the sun is exercising. Can it happen that all the planets can again fall back to the sun? Yes, that can also happen. That's also one of the theory. तो हमारे लिए motion समझना बहुत जरूरी है, rotation, revolution, as well as the combined effect of them. Because the planet rotates, that part of the planet which is facing the sun will be a lit part, that part which is away from the sun will be a unlit part. Every time there is a circle of illumination that divides the earth into two equal half that is in the lit portion, half that is against the lit portion. So there is a circle of illumination कि जो पास में और जो दूर है, right? So this happens. Now what happens? This is the rotation. Because of the circle of illumination and the rotation, each place experiences day and night. Which is near to the sun will experience, which is in the part of the circle of illumination will experience day, which is away from the circle of illumination will experience night. Every time 24 hours you have the cycle of day and night. Then what happened? Because of this, there is also tide. Each place experiences tides twice time. There is water that is being pulled. There is a centrifugal force that also pulls the water. So each place experiences tides at least twice in a day. That is overall. The third thing that happens is, because of the rotation, there is an additional force that has been created which deflects the wind to the right in the northern hemisphere and deflects the wind to the left in the southern hemisphere. That is Coriolis force. That is also because of rotation. Now, because the earth is not only rotating, it is also revolving. ये revolve ही कर रहा है. Because ये revolve कर रहा है, उससे क्या होगा कि जो axis है, the axis of the tilted axis and circle of illumination, they can coincide. There is possibility that circle of illumination and tilted axis can coincide. There is also a possibility that the tilted axis is like this and the circle of illumination is like this, right? there's possibility that they can coincide. There's also possibility this is the circle of illumination, that is the tilted axis. So there can be certain places which are away from the circle of illumination. There can be certain places which are always in the circle of illumination. That's what you actually had to observe while you were referring, while we could actually see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. While we were looking at the map of rotation and revolution, that is what you will have to observe, that there are certain places which are in the circle of illumination, there are certain places which are outside the circle of illumination. Suppose this is your sun, you have the earth moving around the sun. It is possible that this is your tilted axis. This is the tilted axis here, tilted axis. The circle of illumination is keeping, is like this. The circle of illumination is cutting like this. So there can be certain places which are always within the circle of illumination, and there are certain places which are outside the circle of illumination. One is tilted axis, the other is the circle of illumination. How is circle of illumination? Whether it is aligned with tilted axis or it is not aligned with the tilted axis, that is playing a major role. And why is this happening? Because tilt has an angle, the tilt always maintain the angle. Certain places are in the angle, in the circle of illumination, certain places are outside the circle of illumination. That determines the variation in the length of day and night. So because there is variation in the length of day and night, there are seasons. Okay, that is what you will have to know. इसके अलावा, now moving on to one of the basic, ठीक है, हमने ये सी चीज समझी, सोलर सिस्टम को थोड़ा सा समझा. We also understood a timeline that around 13.7 billion years ago there was formation of universe. The formation of solar system has taken somewhere around 4.5 billion years ago. This is the formation of the entire solar system. इसमें भी sun थोड़ा पहले बना, that is around 5.5 billion years ago. This is the sun, and the whole solar system became 4.5 billion years ago. As the solar system is being formed, ठीक है, now to study the history, the geological history of the earth. आप ज्योग्राफी पढ़ रहे हो बट उसकी एक अपनी हिस्ट्री रही है. अगर मुझे अर्थ की जियोलॉजिकल हिस्ट्री समझनी है, देन देयर इज अ टाइम स्केल कॉल्ड एज जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल. सो टू अंडरस्टैंड, सी द प्रेजेंट डे कॉन्टिनेंट्स दैट आई सी, I can see, let's say, North America here, South America here, I can see Eurasia here, this is Africa, this is your Australia. This is how I see the present day continents. I can see this as the Atlantic Ocean, this Pacific Ocean, this is your Indian Ocean. I can see the continents and the oceans like this today. But were these continents and ocean always like what we see today? No. There was a time when all the continents were together. They were together as a part of one single landmass. So when did the continents split? Why did the continents split? What was there before the landmass? How has the earth crust on which I am standing today evolved? कैसे ये change हुई? क्या ये जो crust पे जो अब आप खड़े हो जिस पे, has it always been the way like it is today? No, it has not always been the same way. Then how was it initial times? Why did it change? When did it change? To understand all of these, you have this geological time scale. Now this geological time scale, this is something new for you. For the first time probably, have you gone through geological time scale before? Anybody? कभी सुना है? But then, do you remember it? So we'll start off the discussion today with geological time scale. क्यों समझना है? Why is it important? अच्छा, let me ask you a question. Do you know continental drift theory? Some idea that the whole of the continents were together. The continents they split. The continents they split. And what was the evidence given? Do you know the evidence is given? Continental split हुआ है. एक इंसान ने बोल दिया continents सब साथ में थे. All the continents were once together, but now the continents, they have split, and this is how you see the continents. Yes, and there were some of the evidences used. This is a story of someone, that the continents were once together, now the continents are different. And then why should I believe you? You should tell me some story, you should tell me some evidence. You are giving me a story, tell me the evidence. So one of the evidence that was given was, the evidence was jigsaw fit, that you can see two lines fitting. You can see South America and Africa fitting into one another. Okay, fine. Any other evidence? That can be coincidence also. Forces also, that is okay, forces. Anything else also? Fossil evidence. Now fossil evidence, what is the fossil evidence it gives? It says that there are certain landforms, that there are certain life forms which were distributed throughout. For example, there was a reptile. There was a reptile that is distributed throughout, and you can see the fossil of that reptile. The fossil of that reptile is of this period, and here also you find this reptile, this is of this period. Here also you find the reptile, this is of the same period. They are of the same period, but now they are so many kilometers apart. They are separated by so big oceans. So it is not possible that the reptile can cross the ocean. Reptile आपको दिख रहा है, इस टाइम का दिख रहा है, सब जगह दिख रहा है, तो oceans तो cross नहीं किया होगा. यानी continents that you see today were probably together, and they were aligned. They were aligned, and they were sitting once together. So to understand, Wegener talks his theory about he gives an evidence of reptile. Because he gives an evidence of the reptile, he will have to break his content after the evolution of reptile. Only once after the reptiles have evolved, they are there on the land, then only he will cut the continents. पहले तो कट नहीं कर पाएंगे अपने कॉन्टिनेंट्स को, उनकी थ्योरीज को कुछ टाइमलाइन देंगे ना, इस टाइम पे कॉन्टिनेंट साथ में था, इस टाइम पे कॉन्टिनेंट को तोड़ दिया गया, आपको कैसे पता यहाँ पे रेप्टाइल्स देखो साथ में है, तब यहाँ पे रेप्टाइल्स इवॉल्व हुए थे, कोई टाइमलाइन तो देनी पड़ेगी. तो वो टाइमलाइन कैसे दें? व्हाट इज द टाइमलाइन शुड आई गिव? और फॉर दैट मैटर यू एंड मी, when were we as a human, as a modern man, when were we evolved? What was existing before that? When did the fishes start? What was existing before fishes? How did the life form start? You'll have to have some timeline. So that some timeline is geological timeline, to understand that how things have changed, how things have changed, how things have evolved, how landforms have evolved. This is the timeline. Point ये है कि mechanically मत सोचो कि there is some geological time scale and I want to remember it. You have to learn some of the things, but then if you consider it like a storyline, then you will enjoy it in a better manner. So what happens? It starts off, the story starts off with the evolution of the earth. We are studying the geological history of the earth. I want to study the history of the earth. I want to study history of, not of kings, not of kingdoms. I want to study geological history. I want to study the rock history. I want to study the history of the life form. I want to study the history of the coal. ठीक है? Let's say coal कब बना? Coal क्यों बना? India का coal, you might have heard, you just said that India's coal is not of superior quality as compared to developed world. Why? Because the coal was formed late. The world coal was formed early. Therefore, it is not of good quality. Something that forms early and has lot of pressure, they will have good calorific value because pressure tha. But then India's coal was formed late. It did not have as much pressure, so calorific value is not as much, is not as good. So to understand this, you need to understand the geological time scale. So don't study mechanically. Don't think it's a mechanical thing. You need to understand that how life evolved. Okay, initially there was no life. Then what happened? Small life started coming. Then what happened? Evolution in the fishes. Then what happened? The evolution of the other life form. How has the continent moved? When was the continent together? उस context में geological time scale को देखना है. ठीक है कि अगर अर्थ को समझना है तो उसकी हिस्ट्री को समझना है, उस अर्थ की जियोलॉजिकल हिस्ट्री को समझना है, तो हमारे टाइम स्केल थोड़ा सा इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है. सो हियर दिस इज योर जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल. आई विल स्टार्ट ऑफ फर्स्ट. व्हाट इज जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल? सी व्हाट इज अ जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल? दिस इज हाउ योर जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल गेट्स रिप्रेजेंटेड. इट इज बेसिकली dating of what? Dating of rocks. Dating of what? Dating of the life forms. What was the initial rock? What was the initial life form? What was the old rock? What was the old life form? So what does it tell me? It tells me about the relationship of the rocks and the history of the rocks. ठीक है. How do you know? कौन सी टेक्निक यूज करते हो? It's like this rock is 1 billion year old, this rock is 5 billion year old, this rock is 10 million year old, very new rock. How do you know? You do some dating. What dating? Carbon 14 dating, and other types of dating methods are also there. Like for example, uranium was also used for dating, uranium and lead dating. Like you use carbon dating, there is uranium and lead dating also, that is there. From that we've got to know that Earth is around 4.6 billion years ago. Earth's formation started 4.6 billion years ago, but the Earth that we see in the present form, started completed in the 3.5 billion years ago. 4.5 billion years ago चालू हुआ था, नेब्यूला के फॉर्म पे था, फिर उसके बाद 3.5 बिलियन ईयर्स अगो तक कंप्लीटली हमारा अर्थ का क्रस्ट बन चुका था. बाय 3.5 बिलियन ईयर्स अगो द क्रस्ट वाज बीइंग फॉर्म्ड. ठीक है. सो राइट अबाउट सम अबाउट द जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल, विल देन मूव फॉरवर्ड. ठीक है. सो राइट, जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल, जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल, हाँ जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल, geological time scale. First, it is a system of dating of the features. It is a system of dating of the features of Earth. Dating of the features of the Earth, like geological rocks, and life form, It is about dating of the geological features of the Earth, like rocks and the life form. आप date कर रहे हो rocks को और life form को, क्यों कर रहे हो? It is to know the timing of important events, like formation of coal, formation of life, the idea of continental drift, okay. So if you want to know these important events, you need to have some timeline. So that is your geological time scale. The dating is done. The dating, how do you know about it? The dating is done. The dating, the DATING, the dating is done with the help of rocks and carbon 14 isotope, and uranium lead dating. Uranium and lead isotopes are also used. Uranium and lead isotopes. And uranium lead isotopes, LEAD, uranium lead isotope. Okay, right? The Earth is nearly 4.6 billion year old. Nearly 4.6 billion year old. But the proper formation and important events began around 3.5 billion years ago. 3.5 billion years ago. Okay. So initially tha 4.5 billion years ago, you will say that the Earth formation started. It's like you know, a small fetus developing into a child and then important events happening. So Earth was very, very small ball, gas ball. Debris was there, nebula ka part tha. Then it started coming together around 4.5 billion years ago. But the proper formation and the important events started taking place from 3.5 billion years ago. Now, if I have to understand geological history, it's like understanding the timeline. So it's like I can divide it into various scales. The scales can be, eon, era, period and epoch. We'll see that. Eon, era, period, epoch. It's like, what is an eon? Something like a hour. So for example, you can divide your hour, then minutes, then seconds, then milliseconds. So the biggest unit is what? Hour. Within a 1 hour, you will have these many seconds. Within these many seconds, you will have within 1 hour, you will have these many minutes. Within these minutes, you will have this many seconds. Within this seconds, you will have these many milliseconds. So similarly, you have the biggest scale is your eon. If I have to say, you divide the Earth's history into 2 eon, I will say there is a pre-Cambrian eon and there is a Phanerozoic eon. Okay? There is a pre-Cambrian eon and there is a Phanerozoic eon. Okay? We'll draw all of this. First listen. सबसे पहला वाला eon क्या है? This is your pre-Cambrian eon and the Phanerozoic eon. Eon can be further divided into era. What are the important eras? Pre-Cambrian बहुत पुराना है. ठीक है? Yes, it's 1 unit. Pre-Cambrian बहुत पुराना है. ठीक है? Actually 540 million years ago के पहले things are very, very old. So what happens? You can either say pre-Cambrian eon या you can say pre-Cambrian era. Anything you can say because it's very, very old. So we do not know much about it. So pre-Cambrian eon, within pre-Cambrian eon and Phanerozoic eon, there can be eras. What are the era? You can have Hadean era, Archean era, you can have Proterozoic era. Okay? So it's like this. It's like this. Understand? The first thing you want to draw a geological time scale. बाद में बनाना पहले सुन लो. सबसे पहला unit है eon. Okay. Within the eon you can have eras. Within the era you can have periods. Within the periods you can have epochs. Okay? So biggest unit is eon. Within the you can have various eras. Okay? 1, 2, 3 era. Within the era you can have periods. Again period. Again period. Again period. Okay? And within the period you can have epochs. समझ आया? तो अगर if I say there are how many eons? 2 eons. Pre-Cambrian eon, Phanerozoic eon. What in the pre-Cambrian eon? How many era? Within the pre-Cambrian eon you can have 3 eras. Hadean, Archean, Proterozoic. Within the Phanerozoic era, within the Phanerozoic eon, how many era? 3 era. Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. Within the Paleozoic era, how many periods? 6 periods. Within the Mesozoic era, how many periods? 3 periods. Within the Cenozoic era, how many periods? 2 periods. Okay? So these are the 6 periods. This is the 3 period. This is the 2 period. It's like within 1 hour, how many seconds? 60 minutes. Within 60 minutes, how many seconds? 60 seconds. So similarly, Earth को अगर 2 eon देखना है, तो 2 eon क्या है? Pre-Cambrian eon and Phanerozoic eon. Pre-Cambrian eon को divide करना है, तो 3. There are 3 eras. If I have to divide Phanerozoic era, I can divide it into 3 eras. Then again era, I can divide it into periods. Again era, I can divide it into periods. Again era, I can divide it into periods. Again the periods, I can divide it into epoch. These are the, in the tertiary period, you have 5 epoch. Within the quaternary period, you have 2 epochs. समझ आया कि ये time scale है. This is the time scale. How many eon? 2 eon. Within the pre-Cambrian eon, how many era? 3 era. Within Phanerozoic eon, how many era? 3 eras. Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. Within Paleozoic era, how many periods? You have 6 periods. What are these? Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, Permian. Within Mesozoic era, how many periods? 3 periods. Cretaceous, Jurassic and Triassic. Within Paleozoic era, how many periods? 2 periods. Within Cenozoic era, how many periods? two periods, tertiary and quaternary. Within tertiary period, how many epoch? 5 epoch. Paleocene, Oligocene, Eocene, Miocene and Pliocene. Paleo और Plio अलग अलग है, ठीक है. Within quaternary, there are two. You have Pleistocene and Holocene. ठीक है. तो ये क्या बताता है? ये हिस्ट्री बता रहा है अर्थ की. If I just tell you some important events, the important events, look at the word Carboniferous. Carboniferous. Here, the Carboniferous. In the Carboniferous time, it was the coal, the carbon of the world that was being formed. So when is the carbon of the world formed? In the Carboniferous period. ठीक है. Eon era period है ना. Within the Carboniferous period. If I say some of them, let's take a debate of climate change. Some of the leaders of the world say what? Climate change is a hoax. Climate change is a fake news. आप सब झूठी बात कर रहे हो. And to say that climate change is because of us, developed world, this is तो पक्का lie. ठीक है. क्यों बोल रहे हो? क्या बेस है आपका? He says, look, at the Pleistocene time, the entire earth was under ice age. So now the ice is melting. So you are feeling that the temperature is rising. We are not contributing. It is a natural phenomena that is happening. So understand, this history tells me what? It tells me the dating of the rocks. It tells me when was the carbon formed. It tells me when was the life form evolved. It tells me that how has the earth gone through period of heating and cooling. Your earth has not always been warm. The earth has always, there are places where the earth has also been cold. बहुत cold था. There was lot of cold condition. The present time that we are living is your Holocene, the warmer phase of the earth. The time before Holocene was Pleistocene. This was the ice age for the earth. Nearly 90% of the landforms that we see today have been modified by Pleistocene ice age. Himalayas have been modified. Great Lakes of US was being formed. Karewa soil of Jammu and Kashmir was affected. So, आप जो भी landforms आज देखते हो, they have been affected by Pleistocene ice age. So, your earth has gone through these phases of warming, cooling. Your earth has rocks which are as old as pre-Cambrian time. What is the oldest mountain in India? Which is the oldest mountain in India? Aravalli. कब बना था Aravalli? Pre-Cambrian time, Archean time. Archean time जितना पुराना है Aravalli. Himalayas, they are young fold mountain. When was Himalayas formed? Tertiary time period. They are as new as tertiary fold mountains. Therefore, when you say why has Himalayas have high height? Because they are young fold mountain. So they have not been eroded. Look at Aravalli, they have been eroded. इतना पुराना है तो बूढ़ा तो हो गया, erode हो चुका है. Himalayas, they are young, they are new, they have not yet been eroded. Okay, so one of the reason is that also. So this geological time scale helps me in understanding this. What you do is, you can draw this geological time scale. This one. You can draw this. Start drawing. Where is your friend? Did she take it home? Where is the remote? I don't have my phone today. नहीं दिख रहा, मैं खड़ी हूँ इसलिए. I feel I'll fall from this. बना लो, दिख नहीं रहा लाइट की वजह से. The last one is बाजू वाला कब काम आएगा? हेडिन, आर्किन, प्रोटेरोजोइक, हेडिन, आर्किन, हेडिन इज द ओल्ड लाइफ फॉर्म, नो लाइफ फॉर्म बेसिकली, हेडिन में कोई लाइफ फॉर्म नहीं था, हेडिन टाइम. You can also combine together and write it pre-Cambrian. Combine together and write pre-Cambrian. All of you please make this. Okay, I am not standing in the screen so that all of you can see the screen. Fine. Holocene. Actually, there is a debate to rename Holocene to Anthropocene क्योंकि हमने इतनी बर्बादी की है. ठीक है, we have done, we've affected Earth so much that it says don't say Holocene, say Anthropocene. There's a debate, right? Not, we've not yet taken that. Not exactly, but then remember, should I remember all of them? We'll see how do you remember. ठीक है, we'll devise a short form. First आप बना ले, ठीक है, HAP, cost cap, CJT, POMP. We'll devise some method to remember. Even if you don't remember the entire thing, at least remember the important events. Like carbon बना Carboniferous time. Life form started somewhere in Archean time. At least know the important events. Hadean, Hadean, Hadean. Archean, archaeology, arc means old, Archean, archaeology, Archean, old. Proterozoic, Proterozoic also means old. Prototype, proto is smaller, older type, Proterozoic. So first one is Hadean, Archean and Proterozoic. It's around 4.5 billion, 3.5 billion, 540 million, 3.5, 2.5 and 540 million. 4.5 billion, 3.5 billion, 2.5 billion years ago and 540 million years ago. Then you have Phanerozoic, Phanerozoic, Phanerozoic eon. Phanerozoic eon is divided into three eras: Paleozoic era, Mesozoic era and Cenozoic era. Paleozoic era is divided into 6 periods: Cambrian, Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous. 5 है ना, पीछे है परमियन, कास्ट कैप. ठीक है, Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous and Permian. Mesozoic is divided into Triassic, Jurassic and Cretaceous. Jurassic तो सुना ही होगा, dinosaurs, the age of dinosaurs, Jurassic Park. There was lot of reptiles, there is lot of dinosaurs here. ठीक है, Cretaceous, Jurassic and Triassic. This is Mesozoic. Then you have what? Cenozoic. Cenozoic is again divided into tertiary and quaternary. Tertiary period and quaternary period. Then tertiary period is divided into 5: POMP, Paleocene, Oligocene, Eocene, Miocene and Pliocene. 5 epochs. Quaternary is divided into 2: Pleistocene and Holocene. See, tertiary period, quaternary period is divided into this. ये epoch के बाद भी एक नया आया है, age. Epoch के बाद भी age आया है. This epoch, the even epoch is divided into various ages. उसमें से एक age पता है कौन सी है? Meghalayan age. One of the age is named after Meghalaya, Meghalayan age. Why so? We'll see. ठीक है. 4.5, 3.5, 2.5, 540. It is 270. This one is 270 million years ago. Here, the name is. This is not written. It's about. This is 270 million years ago. And it is. This one is 65 million years ago. It was about 2 million years ago. 10,000 years ago. This is 4.5. All of you done? बना लो. Million years ago, 270 million years ago. 540 का आधा is 270. 270 का 1/4 is 65. I'm just telling you that how I remember. ठीक है, 540 is half is 270. 270 is 1/4 is 65. 65. Then it is about 1.5. Then 10,000 years. 1.5, 10,000 years ago. Right? There's ऐसा जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल वाले ने नहीं दिया था, याद करने के लिए बस ट्रिक बनाया है. 4.5, 3.5, 2.5, 540, 540 का आधा 270, 270 का 1/4 is 65, 65 1.5 and 10,000 years ago. This is what? This is present. June 2023. कौन सी जून है याद नहीं है. 24th. 24th है. I was thinking 26th है. All of you done? How many of you are still making? No क्यों बोला फिर? How many of you are still making? You can say, you will at times you will read Precambrian era, or you will also hear Precambrian eon. Basically they have this a very old time, so not many rocks are there, so they can be used interchangeably also. Precambrian eon, Precambrian era. Precambrian era or eon is divided into Hadean, Archean and Proterozoic. ठीक है, all of you, can I move on now? How do you remember? What is the short form? The short form is HAP, Hadean, Archean and Proterozoic. Okay, so this is HAP. Then you have caused cap, COSD cap. Precambrian था, Precambrian के बाद first वाला C is Cambrian, Precambrian and Cambrian. Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous period. This is the most important period for me, and this is also very important for me. Why? Because this has led to formation of, we'll see, we'll write everything. This has led to formation of Eastern Ghats and it has led to formation of Aravallis. Aravallis and Eastern Ghats have been formed at this time. Okay. If I talk about Carboniferous, why? Because the world's carbon and India's carbon has been formed in the Carboniferous time. So what was that? It was HAP, Hadean, Archean, Proterozoic. Then what? You had Phanerozoic. यहाँ पे जितने भी life form थे, Precambrian life form, you cannot see them with the naked eye. They were not visible via naked eye. So then what we said, when the life form that started becoming visible by the naked eye, we use the word Phanerozoic. Phaneros means visible from the naked eye. Phaneros, this word means, see, all of these are Greek word, ठीक है, इसलिए Greek ही लग रहा होगा. So phaneros means visible. This comes from the word which means visible. So visible to the naked eye. So that life form which became visible to the naked eye called as phaneros. Phanerozoic. The Phanerozoic is divided into what? Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. Zoic का मतलब होता है life form. And yesterday I said paleo always means old. So old life form. Meso means middle life form. Ceno means new life form. So old life form, middle life form and new life form. Paleozoic में क्या था? Caused cap. Right? Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian and Carboniferous and Permian. Caused cap. Okay. Then within this Mesozoic, what do you have? CJT. If you come from north to south, CJT. Cretaceous, Jurassic and Triassic. Jurassic is the age of dinosaur. Cretaceous was the time when Wegener said that the continents have been divided. Before Cretaceous, all of them were together. Wegener gave a theory, a hypothesis which says that after Cretaceous things have changed. The continents, they have changed. Okay? So this was about your Cretaceous. And this was your Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. Paleozoic, caused cap. Mesozoic, CJT. You have the Cenozoic. Cenozoic is into tertiary and quaternary. Tertiary and quaternary. Tertiary is the time which is further divided into P-YOMP. P-E-O-M-P. Okay. Paleocene. Paleo means old. Paleocene, Eocene, Miocene, Oligocene and Pliocene. Okay. Your middle Himalayas. So for that matter, your middle Himalayas are formed here. Your great Himalayas are formed here. Your tertiary Himalayas, the Shivaliks, they have been formed here. So Paleocene में Trans Himalayas बने, Eocene, Oligocene में Great Himalayas बने, Miocene में Middle Himalayas बने, and your Pliocene you have the Shivaliks. So Trans Himalayas are Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Great Himalayas, Miocene, Middle Himalayas, and Pliocene is your Shivaliks that have been formed. But Himalayas are what? They are tertiary fold mountains. Generally you see Himalayas are called as tertiary because they formed in the tertiary time period. Tertiary period में बने, and fold mountains है. What is fold mountains? We will see. So this is your P-YOMP. Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene and your Pliocene. Quaternary is divided into your Holocene and Pleistocene. Pleistocene is the ice age. The entire earth, nearly 90% of the earth, especially the northern part, 90% of North America, majority of Canada and USA, majority of Eurasia and India up to Jammu and Kashmir was covered in the Pleistocene ice age. So there was ice that covered Canada and US, there was ice that covered the Eurasia region and there was ice that covered up to northern part of India. Okay? This is your Pleistocene ice age and then you have your Holocene time. Holocene time is the present time. Okay? So ये क्या था? Again we'll see. This was Hadean, Archean, Proterozoic. You have then the Phanerozoic, visible life form. यहाँ पे जो life forms है, Hadean there is no life form. Hades is Greek god of hell. तो पाताल में तो life है कि नहीं पता नहीं. तो Greek god of hell, that is Greek god. All the names are Greek. There was no life. Then you had Archean, the oldest, the simplest life form. Proterozoic, also the old life form. The life form are not visible. Therefore, these are pre-Cambrian. Then you have Phanerozoic, visible life form. Phanerozoic is divided into Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. समझ आ गया? Paleo is old, Meso is middle, Ceno is this. Paleozoic, then you have caused cap. Cambrian, Ordovician, Cambrian याद रखना, C वही confuse होता है, ठीक है? Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous and Permian. Mesozoic is CJT. उसमें से J तो आपको पता ही है. Cretaceous, Jurassic and Triassic. Then you have this one, the Mesozoic हो गया. Cenozoic. Cenozoic is tertiary period and quaternary period. Tertiary is P-YOMP, P-E-O-M-P. Some, that is your Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene and Pliocene. Then you have Pleistocene and Holocene. ठीक है? Years अगर याद करने हैं तो just remember this is about 540 millions. The Paleozoic starts from 540. Paleozoic ends at half 270. The Mesozoic starts at 270, ends at 1/4 65. Mesozoic starts at 65. Cenozoic starts at 65, ends at 1.5, sorry ends at present, अभी तक present में चल रहा है. Cenozoic अभी क्या चल रहा है? Holocene, you have quaternary, Holocene epoch, quaternary period, Cenozoic era, and the eon is Phanerozoic eon. ठीक है. So do one thing, write these terms so that it will help you in revision. Right. Geological time scale. Geological time scale. Geological time scale is mainly divided in four divisions. Eon, era, period, epoch. Eon, era, period and epoch. Some important terms, yeah, some important things that you should write. Zoic का मतलब होता है life form. Zoic means life form. करना क्या है? Zoic means life form. Hadean is Greek god of hell. Greek god of hell or underworld. जो भी बोल दो. Greek god of hell or the underworld. Therefore, no life. No life. Archean is very old. Very old. Therefore, simplest form of life. Very small microorganism. Simplest form of life. You can also write, in case you want to write, formation of Eastern Ghats and Aravalli. Formation of Eastern Ghats and Aravalli has taken place in Archean time. Okay. Then you have, you can also write, अच्छा पहले नाम वही लिख लो. Phanerozoic come from the word visible. हाँ, Proterozoic लिख लो. Proterozoic is initial life. Proto मतलब initial, prototype, initial types. Initial life. Okay. Then what do you have? You have Phanerozoic. Phaneros comes from the word, Phanerozoic come from the word Phanerozoic, and a Phaneros life and a visible life. Phaneros means visible. Comes from the visible life. कई बार ऐसा लगता है इंडिया वाला नाम होता तो ज्यादा इजी था. This was modified for India. बहुत टफ है. Dravidian rocks, Aryan rocks, Gondwana rocks. Purana rocks, Archean rocks. That is there for India. We will not study that for India, don't worry. Okay, Phaneros. Paleo means old, Meso means middle, Ceno means new. Paleo means old, Meso means middle, Ceno means new. Done, all of you? See, so I will tell you like story. You can start listening like a story. Some things I will tell you to write. I will not tell you to write many of the things. Okay. So what did we start? We started off with the Precambrian one. In the Precambrian, you have Hadean, no life. You have Archean, some life form, and then Proterozoic is the simplest life form. Then you have the Phanerozoic, that is visible life form. So there is an alternative way that you can see. Hadean. It is named after the word Hades. We've already written this. Greek god Hades. This means the Greek god of underworld. This describes a hellish-like condition that the earth was just being formed. Hell के जैसा ही था, gas था, dust था, debris था, बहुत बहुत गर्म था, and the earth is just being formed. This was the Hadean time. Then you have the Archean time. Archean is what is getting formed in Archean. You can write this. Continent and oceans is getting formed. The crust is getting formed. The first layer is getting formed. So you have crust and the crust is being formed. Continents and ocean is being formed. Continents and ocean is being formed. चालू करें? That's done. Okay. Okay. So we just started off with geological time scale. We are at the first part, just understanding the terms. We started off with Hadin. Hadin is Greek god of underworld. There are hellish condition. This is very, very hot phase. Then starts Archean time. At the Archean time, there is formation of the ocean and the continents. Once the ocean will form, then only you will have the life. So Archean time is about the formation of the oceans and the continent. Certain life form had evolved, but not as much. It is during Proterozoic time where you have much of the evolution of the life form. ज़्यादा evolution यहीं पे होता है, especially like the primitive form of bacteria, blue-green algae, small algae is coming, blue-green algae and primitive form of bacteria is coming. So this is your Precambrian time, the Precambrian eon, the Precambrian era, Hadin, Archean and Proterozoic. What do you have? You have Hadin, no life. You have Archean, you have formation of ocean and continent, Aravalli and Eastern Ghats, and you also have the formation of this one, the formation of the life in the Proterozoic time, the blue-green algae and the bacteria. I believe आपने oceans and continent लिख लिया, Aravalli and Eastern Ghats लिख लिया, Proterozoic में लिख लो blue-green algae and the primitive life form, blue-green algae and the primitive life form. ठीक है, blue-green algae and the simple life form. Then what happened? इसके बाद क्या आता है? Phanerozoic, the visible life form. There's visible life form coming in the Phanerozoic time. Okay, so visible life form आ रहा है और आपके mostly it is the life form, visible life form that comes. So first we saw Precambrian. Now I'm looking at Phanerozoic. In a Phanerozoic, what do you have? This was Hadin, Archean, Proterozoic. In Phanerozoic, you have Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic. In the Paleozoic, you have caused cap, Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, Permian. Cambrian में कोई terrestrial life नहीं आ रही. That means ocean में ही life है. The life has not yet come on the land. Ordovician, there is first fish from blue-green algae. There is first fish that is coming in the Ordovician time period. Silurian में you have the first plants that are coming. So ocean में life आई, fish is money. Then you have then there is life on the land. Then what happens? There is combination, life on the ocean and life on the land. That is, you have this one. You have coming of the amphibian in the Devonian. Even if you don't remember, that is fine. Remember Carboniferous period and the coal. Remember Carboniferous period and the coal, and remember Permian and reptile. उतना बस आपको पता होना चाहिए. Carboniferous और coal आपको पता होना चाहिए. You should know about the coal. See, once you know about the coal in the Carboniferous, I am just drawing certain links for you. पहले सुन लीजिए, पहले सुन लो, ठीक है, फिर लिख लेना. You will get the time also. Here you have first. I'm just drawing certain link. Hadin, no life. Archean, simple life. And what do we have? Eastern Ghats, Aravallis, oceans and the continent. Oceans aaya, then only you will have the more life. So you have Proterozoic. The oceans, you have the life that is coming. You have blue-green algae that is coming. Okay, blue-green algae. Then you have these are not visible. You will have visible in Phanerozoic. In Phanerozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. Here you have cost cap. Okay. I am saying remember cap. Carboniferous is easy to remember. Carbon, coal. Okay. How is coal formed? How is coal formed? Carbon से coal याद रहेगा. How is coal formed? Fossil. You are saying. पहले कुछ life form रही होगी जो भरी हुई होगी. You are saying fossil. Anybody else? Yes. When vegetation goes down, when forest goes down, not just any life, the whole of the forest. Suppose this is the land. This is the land. Okay. This is the land. You have lot of forest. You have lot of forest here. Suppose for some reason this part breaks. This part breaks and it goes down. As it goes down, the forest also along with it also goes down. So you have the burial of the forest. The forest, the trees, the dense forest that is getting under pressure, that will form the coal. Okay. So what I am leading? I am saying ये बना coal. That means plant पहले आए होंगे. That means vegetation forest should come before this, right? Then only you are having coal. There has to be some plant that has to come. Plants are coming where? Plants are coming here. Plants are coming in the Silurian time. I am just drawing certain things for you. First, no life. Then oceans. Then oceans. Then we have life. Small life. Blue-green algae. Then visible life. Cost cap. I know cap. I know this one. I have Silurian. At least I will remember that life of the plants. That is, plants are coming. Okay. Plants have come. Ocean is there. Okay. Oceans is also there. Ocean is there. Here also life is there. By Ordovician you have fishes that are coming. Ordovician you have fish. You have Devonian you have plants. Carboniferous period you have this one. Coal that is coming. So certain fishes are coming in Ordovician. Silurian you have plants and Carboniferous you have coal. So see, ocean में life, fish उड़ती नहीं है, but Ordovician में fish आई है. ठीक है. Ordovician you have fish. Silurian you have plants and Devonian what will you have? Fish or plants. ठीक है. मतलब one life on the land, one life on the ocean. इन दोनों के बाद क्या एक बीच वाली लाइफ जो लैंड पे भी रह सकती है, जो ओशन पे भी रह सकती है. What will it be? Amphibian. Getting what's happening? I will just revise again. See here, Haydn you have no life. Archean, oceans and continents. Proterozoic, blue-green algae. You have Paleozoic. In Paleozoic, COSD cap. This is carbon. Ordovician, fish. Silurian, plants. Devonian, amphibian. ठीक है. So certain things you can remember. Carbon, Carboniferous period. उड़ती नहीं है fish. Ordovician, fish, plants and amphibian. ठीक है. So just remembering how, just telling you some of the tricks जो आप remember कर सकते हो. तो you know Ordovician is first fish, Silurian is first plant, Devonian is amphibian, Carboniferous is coal. And then your Mesozoic is about to come. So you will have what? Jurassic. You will have Jurassic, you will have dinosaurs. तो reptile की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं. Permian में क्या हो रहा है? Reptile की तरफ बढ़ रहा है. You can write whatever you want to write. Cost cap. ठीक है. Ordovician is fish, Devonian is cost. Sorry, हाँ. Ordovician is fish, Silurian is plant, Devonian is amphibian. Carboniferous is carbon. Cool. Fish, plant, amphibian. The first image there, the image the GIF there is about this coal formation. You will see that there was lot of forest. The forest gets submerged for some reason. As there's lot of submergence, the plant they dry, then they get submerged over the weight, over the heat, they'll get transformed into coal. Okay. So if I talk about one example, just one example, where are the coal fields in India? India में coal कहाँ मिलता है? Anybody? Chota Nagpur plateau. Along which river? Along Damodar river. What is happening here? This is the land. This is the land. Okay, land has got rift. Rift means breaking, cracking, moving apart. Rift in a relation. The rift is breaking, cracking in a part. So here this is the breaking, cracking that has happened. So what has happened? Inside what you have? Inside you have the coal that has been formed. The coal has been formed, but still the gap is there. So a river starts flowing. Damodar flows through what? Damodar flows through a valley. What is this valley? Rift Valley. So जहां जहां river rift valley से flow रहा है, this was the place. There was rifting that developed. A valley has been created. इसके नीचे coal है because the plants they submerged, they went inside and led to formation of coal. So wherever the river is flowing through Rift Valley, you have coals. Damodar flows through Rift Valley, it has coal. Godavari flows through Rift Valley, it has coal. Narmada flows through Rift Valley, it has coal. Son flows through Rift Valley, it has coal. Son pe you have near Shahadol MP, you have coal, that is your Singareni coal fields. Towards Godavari, in Kathgodam, you have Singrauli coal fields. Towards Godavari, there is a tributary Vardha that has, Chandrapur Vardha has coal. Damodar has Jharia, Bokaro coal fields. ये सब नाम याद हो जाएंगे as in we are moving. But for now understand, there is some breaking, there is some cracking, there is some, so the forest underwent, the forest submerged and a valley through which your river passes. India mein you have enough examples of Rift Valley flowing rivers. Where are we? I will not digress as much. You have HAP, Hayden, No Life, Arkin, Some Life, Oceans and Continents, More Life, Cost Cap, Cambrian, छोड़ दो. O is Ordovician fish, Ordovician is fish, Silurian is plant, Devonian is amphibian, Carbon is carboniferous, Permian is your reptile that starts dominating. Now the age of reptile starts coming. Okay, so this is about your this one. Okay, so reptile, amphibia and the other things. Single cell, unicellular, then you have fish, then you have amphibian, then you have reptile. So single cell, then you have fish, then you have amphibia and then you have finally the reptiles that are coming. This is how we've also studied the reptiles that are coming. Then you have, you know, one thing about your Cretaceous, that is your Jurassic Park. So in your Mesozoic, what do you have? Cretaceous, Jurassic and Triassic. Jurassic is the age of dinosaur. Cretaceous is the end of the dinosaur. So you can write this. Jurassic is the age of dinosaur and Cretaceous is the extinction of the dinosaur. ठीक है, समझ आया अभी? HAP, cost cap, what is happening in cost cap, what is happening in CJT. Jurassic, the age of dinosaur. Cretaceous is the extinction of the dinosaur. Then what do you have? Then you have the Cenozoic, tertiary and the quaternary. Mesozoic देख लिया. Then you have the Cenozoic, tertiary and the quaternary. In the Cenozoic, in the tertiary you have the formation of Himalayas and you have the formation of Andes and the Rockies. So Andes, Rockies and Himalayas, they are young mountains, they are tertiary mountains. So in tertiary you can write formation of Andes, Rockies and Himalayas. You know where is Rockies? North America. Where is Andes? South America. Himalayas to pata hi hai. Third pole. It is known as third pole, the Himalayan Hindu Kush region. Pehla pole North Pole, second pole South Pole, there because of the amount of ice. Right, there's a lot of glaciers. Hindu Kush, Himalayan region. So you have tertiary, you have the formation of Andes, Rockies and Himalayas. Then you have quaternary. In the quaternary you have Pleistocene and you have Holocene. ये Pliocene, Pleistocene के पहले ही हमारे early human ancestors आए थे. So this is our humans, Homo sapien. Early human ancestors, they started somewhere in the Pliocene. हम कब से आए? हम आए हैं Pleistocene में. That is your Homo sapien. ठीक है. So see, इसको याद कैसे करें? Holocene को replace करना चाह रहे हैं एंथ्रोपोसीन से मॉडर्न मैन, मॉडर्न मीन्स इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन, पोल्यूशन, प्लास्टिक पोल्यूशन, ठीक है, दैट इज मॉडर्न मैन। उसके पहले क्या थे हम, ठीक थे, होमो सेपियन, और उसके पहले क्या थे, अर्ली एंसेस्टर्स थे। तो you Pleistocene, you have the early human ancestors that are coming, then you have homo sapien, and then we are the modern man, anthropocene, ठीक है। तो modern man, homo sapien, and then before that you have the early human ancestors। लिख सकते हो Pliocene is early human ancestor, the Pliocene is the early human ancestor, Pleistocene is homo sapien, and the modern man is holocene, हम। Actually modern means those who pollute, those who destroys the forest, those who goes for extinction, those who goes for poaching, that is what your modern man actually means। Can I move on? So this was about your Cenozoic, Tertiary and the Quaternary. I'll just revise. So what we've done okay, Hadean, Archean, Proterozoic, Phanerozoic, Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic, Cost, Cap, CJT, Tertiary and Quaternary, you have Piom, that is Piom छोड़ दोगे, Tertiary भी याद है तो चलेगा, and then you have in Piom at least no Pliocene, that is the early human ancestries, then your Pleistocene, the Homo sapien, and the Holocene is the modern man, ठीक है। अब क्यों ये न्यूज में रहा है, because there are two things, one thing is Holocene should be replaced to Anthropocene to show the effect, anthro means man, to show the effect of man on the earth. There has been lot of effect that has been done by man on the earth. We have constructed environments, 24 degrees Celsius, outside it is 35 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius. We have constructed environment. Urbanization is a perfect example of constructed environment. So we have modified the earth's face, we have modified the river flows, we've modified the melting of the glaciers, we've modified the forest, we've cut the forest, and we have what? We have Miyawaki system, we have new methods of forestry that is happening, we have modified the forest, we have done agriculture, we have modern agriculture. So we have modified the face of the earth. So this phase of Holocene has to be said as what? Anthropocene. This is one debate. The second debate is that this one is the first debate, that what has the man done. So rename Holocene to Anthropocene, okay, this has not yet been accepted, okay, because the human impact is too much. The second debate is about your age, about the create a new, this has been accepted, create a new division called as age. So you have eon era, period, epoch, create one more unit called as age, and in that age हमारे लिए जो important है, that is the newest age called as Meghalayan age. In Meghalaya it was studied, the rocks were studied, and from the rocks that were studied it was seen that there was a time period probably in the Holocene, there was some time period in the Holocene not very far off, 10,000 years ago or 7,000 years ago, where there was entire dry conditions that was there on the earth. There was entire dry conditions that were there on the earth, and this is something that the rocks reveal, and this dry conditions that have been there on the earth has led to fall of many civilization. The fall of Indus civilization, one of the theory also, the fall of Mesopotamian civilization. So एक age की बात करें कि एक और यूनिट लाएं age, उसमें से अभी वाला जो age है, that is your Meghalayan age, named after Meghalayan rocks. In the Meghalaya there is a cave, Mamlu caves. In the Mamlu caves there was this rock, there were rocks which says that there was dry conditions at that time, ठीक है। तो dry conditions के कारण क्या हुआ, there was fall of many civilizations. That is why this has been there in the news. So in case they ask you about Mamlu caves, in case they ask you about Meghalayan age, only 4,000 years ago, right? So what today's what, 2000, and 4,000 is around 2,500 BC, ठीक है। That is what is the period, that is same that of your Indus Valley civilization. तो 4,000 साल पहले, अभी backtrack करो ना, 2000 BC and then again 2,500 BC. So 4,500 years के आसपास there was dry conditions that were there, ठीक है। So this has been news in news. So do one thing, write recent debates. The recent debates See, it shows this diagram. If I have to understand, this is Quaternary period. You have Pleistocene and Holocene. In the Pleistocene and Holocene, in the Holocene epoch, you have Greenlandian age, North Griffin age, and Meghalayan age. Meghalayan age is just about 4,500 years ago. There was this cave that was studied, Mamlu cave. There is a speleothem. This has been used. UPSC ना directly question नहीं पूछता है. Current affairs derived question भी पूछता है. In geography optional. So there was a question 1A, which was what is speleothem? Had asked, write a short note on speleothem. So because I have association with geography optional also, so I know this was the question that they had asked. So Mamlu caves में speleothem has been studied. What is speleothem? आपने नाम सुना होगा, but आपको technical term नहीं पता होगा. Have you heard these terms? Stalactite, stalagmite, Ajanta Ellora में the deposition of calcium, right? The stalactite and karst topography सुना है? Have you heard the word karst topography? उसमें है. So, the action by rivers, the action by desert, the action, ये सब सुना है. Rivers क्या बनाती है? Desert क्या बनाता है? Rivers makes delta, river makes oxbow lake. ठीक है? So similarly there is limestone. In the limestone, the stalagmite and stalactite we'll study. उसमें there is this speleothem. ठीक है? इतना technical में नहीं जाएंगे. Just write about recent debates. Just write about recent debates. First, inclusion of new unit. Inclusion of new unit. Age within epoch. The three ages included. The three ages included within Holocene epoch. The three ages included within Holocene epoch are Greenlandian age, just नाम लिख लो, Greenlandian age, North Grippian age, and you have the Meghalayan age. नहीं छोड़ दो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, you can leave. Meghalayan वाला लिख लो ना बस. The Greenlandian age, North Grippian age, and the Meghalayan age. See, before Holocene, what was there? Pleistocene. Pleistocene के बाद Holocene आया. Pleistocene was very cold. Then what happened? Greenlandian में what happened? There was some warming that was occurring. Some warming started. In North Grippian, what happened? Again some cooling started. Okay, you'll see the Greenlandian age, the last ice age was ended, warming started. North Grippian, again some bit of cooling, and then in Meghalayan age, which is around 4,500 years ago, right? Meghalayan age 4,200 years ago. It is synonymous with dry conditions. It is synonymous with the dry conditions and droughts. It is named after Mamluh caves. M-A-W-M-L-U-H. M-A-W-M-L-U-H. Mamluh caves. It is named after Mamluh caves in Meghalaya. The cave has limestone. And shows evidences of the dry conditions. You can also write there is a, there is some, there can be, there may be, there may be, there may be some correlation, there may be some correlation with the dry condition, with the dry condition and the collapse of, and the collapse of civilization in, collapse of civilization in Egypt, in Egypt, Greece, Syria, Palestine, Greece, Syria, Egypt, Greece, Syria, Palestine, Indus Valley, Indus Valley, Mesopotamia, Mesopotamia, and Yangtze River Valley, and Yangtze River Valley. हमारे यहाँ पे सबसे पहले कहाँ पे आए civilization? Where Indus Valley civilization in India. Where did the civilization start in China? In Yangtze River Valley. What about West Asia? Where did the civilization start in West Asia? In Iraq and Iran? In Iraq majorly, your Mesopotamia. So Mesopotamia is about Iraq, Yangtze is about China, Indus is about India. What about the name, rest of the name? Greece, Egypt, Syria and Palestine. They are the names of the countries. Okay. So civilization started, and basically during the Meghalayan age, there was some correlation with the dry condition, drought conditions and the fall of these civilizations. That's what, there may be some correlation that has been forwarded. The second debate is renaming of, the second debate is renaming of Holocene to Anthropocene. It shows the effect of, it aims to show the effect of, इसी में it aims to show the effect of man on the earth. It aims to show the effect of man on the earth. ठीक है, right? How many of you have read that book, Sapiens? Yes, it tells Sapiens. How many of you read that book, Homo Sapiens? It tells that how man has modified. See, we as human, yeah, we as a species, we are not very powerful, right? Can we fight a tiger? No. Can you fight a lion? No. We are not very powerful species, but understand, we have been able to dominate the planet. हम क्या है? 97% DNA क्या है हमारा? Chimpanzees, right? We are 97% chimpanzees, but still we've been able to dominate the planet. And one of the reason we've been able to dominate the planet is what? There was some cognitive revolution. There was some थोड़ा सा chemical लोचा हो गया, ठीक है, brain में. There was some cognitive revolution that take place, and we were able to build stories. We are able to communicate. That's what Yuval Noah Harari's Homo sapien book says. That we are able to communicate like no other species can communicate. The other species can waggle dance. यहाँ खाना है, यहाँ खाना नहीं है. I'm using waggle dance because this was asked in prelims examination, right? They can use go this way, tell this is the food, this is the food, this is the food. But we as human can actually communicate कि कितनी भूख लगी है, क्या खाना चाहेंगे, कैसे बनाना चाहेंगे, इसमें क्या होएगा. The way we communicate, no other species can communicate in as much precision, in as much details. One, and because we could communicate, we could build what? We could build stories. We've been able to build fictions. What the example that the book says is, what is dollar? You look at dollar, dollar is probably a paper. But if you look at dollar, dollar is one of the most powerful currency of the world. So we have been able to create fiction. Because we've been able to create stories, we've been able to garner trust. Because we've been able to garner the trust, we've been able to come together. As we've been able to come together, we've been able to dominate the planet. So we are not very powerful species, but because of cognitive revolution, because we could communicate, we could build stories, we could manage fire. we could manage fire, we've been able to dominate the species. फॉरेस्ट को, पूरे फॉरेस्ट को हमने जला दिया, हमने उस पर एग्रीकल्चर किया, ठीक है. So that's what we have done. So these are the debates about your geological time scale. I'll just revise what we've done. We've started off with Hadean arc in Proterozoic, Phanerozoic, Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic, caused cap, CJT, Piomb, Holocene, Pleistocene, Holocene. Holocene is further divided into ages: Greenlandian age, North Griffin age, and the Meghalayan age. Okay. This is about no life, oceans and continents, some life, forget Cambrian. Ordovician is fishes, then you have plants, then you have amphibians, then you have carbon, then you have reptiles, then the age of Jurassic, the age of dinosaur, the age of extinction of the dinosaur. Formation of Andes, Himalayas and Rockies. Then you have Pleistocene. Pliocene mein it starts the ancestors, the early ancestors, then the Homo sapien in Pleistocene, then in your Holocene is the modern man. This is what is your geological time scale. Okay. What was the question that was, some question that was linked to this was the term Denisovan. ये भी पूछा हुआ है. Some of you are like, इतने previous year question के ये क्या है? ठीक है. The term Denisovan is sometimes mentioned in the media in reference to geological period in the history of the subcontinent, a cave system found in northeast, a early human species, and a fossil of a kind of dinosaur. क्योंकि वो बड़े में है. Find it for yourself. जाके घर पे हाँ बताएं. Find it for yourself. ठीक है. घर पे जाके इमेज देखना. I don't have image. I'll not tell you the answer. Denisovan, go. ऐसा नहीं मुझे नहीं पता है. मुझे पता है. But I'm not telling you the answer. ठीक है. So this is what is the geological time scale. Can we move on? Right. Now, geological time scale helps me know about the evolution of the earth. I'm now moving, I'm shifting the gears. I started off with solar system, understand universe, now understanding the geological history of the earth. When was Aravalli formed, when was Eastern Ghat formed, when are Himalayas formed, how has the life evolved, when did man evolve. Okay, I'm shifting the gears. I'm studying earth now, I'll be studying earth now. What is earth? What is earth? What is geography? What is geography? पता नहीं. हाँ? What is geography? Geography is what? Geography is the study of the earth. Geography is the study of world. What is geography? Description of the earth. Graphy means describe. Study of the geo means earth. The description of the earth. Okay. Study of the earth. Anybody else? What is geography? Study of the earth. Why? Why do you want to study earth? To understand the structure of the earth. Okay. क्या करोगे structure समझ के? To understand our evolution. Okay. What will we study in biology then? Geography is a study of earth as a home of man. You want to study earth because ये आपका घर है. ठीक है. So you need to understand your home very well. So firstly we'll start off understanding the earth. Earth पे क्या है? We'll start off understanding what is earth, what is it composed of, what are the rocks on the earth. ठीक है. How does the rock determine the stability of the earth? How are the rocks formed? How are the rocks help in? क्यों पढ़ूं rocks? क्यों? Because मुझे evolution समझ आएगा life का. क्यों पढ़ूं rocks? Yes, I will get to know what are the minerals that I can use. Why study rocks? So that I can use it for the construction purpose. Granite, construction purpose. You use, what do you use? You use gypsum for the construction purpose. Limestone for the construction purpose. You understand the elements in the rocks and then you try to study the evolution of the life. Carbon है, carbon 14 isotope है, then I understand when was this rock formed. This rock is formed here, it is found here why it is found here. There has to be some reason. So you link it to the processes, you link it to the, okay, this is the rock, this Himalayas are soft rocks, soft sedimentary rocks of marine origin. If you look at Himalayas are soft rocks, they are sedimentary rocks, they are of marine origin. I am using three key terms: soft rocks, sedimentary rocks. There are three types of rock, right? Igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Sedimentary rocks, soft rocks, and they are of marine origin. Marine origin means there was one, Himalayas was once inside the ocean. From the ocean Himalayas have come. How has it come? That we'll have to study. ठीक है, तो लिख लो, geography is the study of earth, as home of the man. Geography is the study of the earth as the home of the man. Therefore it is important to study the physical features, जिसको आप geography समझ रहे हो, plateau, mountain, plain, यही geography समझ रहे थे ना. This is what geography is: plateau, plain, mountains. क्या ही पढ़ा दिया, plateau, plain and mountains. So geography is the study of the earth as a home of man. Therefore it is important to study the physical landscapes, ठीक है, the rocks, minerals, the rocks and the minerals, the climate parameters, the resources of the oceans, the distribution of the life forms, oceans, ocean में क्या resource मिल रहा है, land पे क्या resource मिल रहा है, the distribution of the life forms, where, how are the plants distributed, how are the animals distributed, why are they distributed the way they are distributed, the study of settlements, and the population characteristics, okay, tribes, certain tribes are, just I am explaining, certain tribes you study that tribes of Andaman Nicobar Island, the tribes of Andaman are very different from the tribes of Nicobar. Why? Because they belong to different race, the race is different. The race of Andamanis Sentinelese is very different from the race of Champains and Onge in Nicobar. So that there are different tribes with different features, biological features. ठीक है, so that also you study in geography. तो study क्या करते हैं? Mountains, plateaus, landscape तो करते ही हैं, mountains, plateaus, plains तो करते ही हैं. Along with that, you also study climate parameters. Why is the wind flowing the way it is flowing? You study what are the ocean resources. How is ocean crust same as the continental crust? You have crust, right? First layer is crust. On the crust you have continent, you have oceans. Are the rocks same? No. Why are they different? That you study. You study the resources of the ocean so that you can use the resources of the ocean. So study of the earth as a home of man. But what do you study at home? You study landscape, you study climate, you study the oceans, you study the life forms. How are the life distributed the way they are distributed? Where will I have snow leopard? Can I have snow leopard at equator? No, obviously not. Can I have penguins in the tropical waters? No. So that also you study in the geography. Not only do you study this, but you also study the characteristics of the population. If you look at the total fertility rate of India, the population that India, well, what is the fertility rate? How many children are we producing? How many children a woman is producing? What is the total fertility rate? 2.1, 2.0 to 2.1. If I say the fertility rate of Kerala is 1.9, the fertility rate of Tamil Nadu is 1.8, just rounding off. If I say the fertility rate of UP and Bihar is 3.1, 2.8, above the average. Why? Why? How geography? What is geography? More resources. तो बच्चे पैदा करो. Elon Musk. I can feed 16. I can feed 16. I will give birth to 16 people. Yes, economy is also geography related to agriculture. One of the reason is the kind of economy. The kind of economy like it's an agriculture based economy. So what happens in agriculture based economy? More labor is seen as asset. So flatness of the land led to agriculture. Plain hai, UP Bihar plains. Flatness of the land led to agriculture. Agriculture dominance leads to the more need for the labor. More need for labor is go on producing more. One. Second, because it is agricultural based dependent, there is less flat land agriculture. Agriculture, there is less incentive for education. क्या करोगे? नौकरी करोगे? खेती संभालो. Less incentive for education. As there is less incentive for education, there is less awareness of the reproductive rights. There is less awareness of the health parameters. There is less awareness of the infrastructure. So because nobody wants to do the job, agriculture करेंगे, खेती है घर की, ठीक है? So less incentive for education. So less awareness of the reproductive rights. How much children should I produce? So I said no, geography is not something that has a subject of its own, but geography is something that help you linkage the things. ठीक है? तो flat land agriculture in no incentive for education. No incentive for education, lack of awareness of the rights, lack of awareness, the low education, especially the education of the women. The women is, so there is dominance of patriarchy also. Patriarchy hai to women is not allowed to make the decision. This is how we'll have to link. ठीक है? So what is geography? पहले landscape पढ़ते हैं, जो आप पढ़ के आए हो. The landscape like plateaus, plain, mountains. We'll study that first. For me, for so that you understand things better, I will start off with, I cannot study rocks. I cannot study landscape without studying rocks. Landscape is what? I need to study rocks. For example, when I say plain topography, the kind of rocks are different. If I have to say plateau topography, the kind of rock is different. So for you to understand plain, plateau, mountains, you have to first understand rocks. You cannot understand Himalayas if you don't understand rocks. So पहले पढ़ेंगे rocks and minerals. So give the heading rocks and minerals. फिर से ठंड लग रही है? Can somebody please call from outside? So I am not beginning. Give the topic minerals and rocks. We'll understand minerals and rocks. Minerals and rocks. AC बंद करनी है. Okay, let's start off with minerals and the rocks. Before I move into minerals and rocks, I need to understand two, three terms. This is not hardcore science, but then इतना तो पता होगा. What is an element? What is a mineral? And what is a rock? What is an element? What is a mineral? What is a rock? What is an element? Which cannot be further divided without any nuclear process. Example of element: hydrogen, helium, lithium, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. These are elements. When lot of elements combined, what do you get? You get minerals. What is a mineral? Combination of elements in a fixed proportion, in a definite chemical composition. That is your mineral. What is a rock? Aggregation of the minerals. Elements combined together to make minerals. Minerals combined together to make the rocks. Element is a substance that cannot be further subdivided. They combine to make mineral. But the composition is what? Composition is fixed. Okay, mineral ka composition fixed hai. Silicate mineral, it will always be what? SiO2. When the minerals they come together, they form rock. But the composition is fixed. The composition is not fixed. So rock में minerals are coming together, but the composition is not fixed. Any group of minerals, they can come together to form the rocks. What kind of rock? Whether the rock is hard, whether the rock is soft, this determines what? It determines my landscape. We say peninsular plateau has high height because it is a hard rock. Okay, plains, they have plain topography, they are made up of soft rocks that have been broken down. So this is the link that I wanted to establish. So let's understand first minerals, then you have, what do you mean by element? So this is the periodic table of element. You have hydrogen, helium, you have lithium, you have beryllium, you have boron, carbon, and etc. What is an element? An element is basically something that cannot be subdivided. An element combines together to make the mineral. What is a mineral? A mineral is any naturally inorganic substance. कोई एक inorganic substance है, नहीं है, inorganic substance है, ठीक है, having a definite atomic structure, having a definite chemical property, having a definite physical properties. Chemical property, chemical composition or physical property same है, ठीक है. When one or two minerals, basically minerals is composed of two or more elements. When two or more elements come together, you have the minerals, ठीक है. कई बार single element can also form the mineral, like you have diamond, like you have sulfur, you have copper. They can single element that is forming the mineral. The way these minerals they come together, they will form what? They will form the rocks. So this is a mineral. Let's say quartz is a mineral, feldspar is a mineral. When they come together, they will form the rocks. जब आ रहे हैं मिनरल साथ में आ रहे हैं तो उनका कॉम्पोजिशन सेम नहीं रहेगा, तब भी चलेगा. डेफिनेट केमिकल कॉम्पोजिशन नहीं रहेगा, डेफिनेट फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी नहीं रहेगी, तब भी चलेगा. So this is the rocks. What is rocks? Combination of the minerals which is not in the same physical property, which is same definite chemical composition नहीं चाहिए. You don't need a definite chemical composition to form a rock. ठीक है. Now if I say Earth's crust, I am studying the Earth's interior, I am studying the Earth's layer. If I say Earth's crust, in the Earth's crust, what kind of rocks are there? The Earth crust, it has igneous rocks. Majorly crust is made up of igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are what? That have been formed because of the cooling and solidification of the magma. Magma is coming, magma has become lava, it has solidified and it has become the crust. तो वो crust बन गया. Crust पे question क्या पूछ सकता है? They can ask you a question कि elements कौन से हैं? What are the major elements of the crust? The major elements of the crust can be silicate groups. It is the silicate groups that dominates the crust. It is the silicate that dominates the crust. Silicate यानी SiO2 है. SiO2 is the that dominates the crust. But आपका crust बना किससे? आपका crust बना है majorly from the igneous rocks. Can I have along with the igneous rock? Can I have sedimentary rocks? Yes. क्योंकि igneous rock अगर टूटेगा, there will be sediments. The sediments combining together will give me the sedimentary rocks. When sedimentary rocks undergoes temperature and pressure change, can it form metamorphic rock? So on the crust, can I have sedimentary rocks? Yes. Can I have metamorphic rocks? Yes. But what is the crust made up of? The crust is made up of igneous rocks. Okay. So what do? We'll study about minerals and rocks. But what is a rock? पहले ये समझेंगे. Rock is a composition of minerals. What is mineral? It is a combination of element. So basic element क्या है? Basic element is silicon. Basic element is oxygen. They combine together to make the rocks. ठीक है? So just write the rocks. Just write the minerals, elements, and the rocks. Now give the heading: elements, minerals, and the rocks. Elements, minerals, and the rocks. What is an element? Element is a substance that cannot be, an element is a substance that cannot be subdivided by a non-nuclear action. मतलब if you want to divide an element further, जैसे कि यूरेनियम की बात चलती है, you have uranium here, uranium has, if you want to divide uranium further, what you have to do? You will have to go for some nuclear fission, nuclear fusion. Fission jana padega, tabhi hi it will be divided. Otherwise, you cannot divide an element by any non-nuclear reaction. It is the most stable substance that is there. Okay? This is your element. Then write an element, the element that can be, an element can be combined in, an element can be combined in many ways. An element can be combined in many different ways. To form minerals. Many elements that they can combine to form the minerals. Right? On the Earth's surface, on the Earth's surface, at least, on the Earth's surface, at least 2000 minerals have been identified. Minerals have been identified. You might have heard in current affairs, lithium mila. Lithium you got it in the Jammu and Kashmir. Lithium you also found in Rajasthan. Okay? So minerals, we go on searching for minerals. Why? Because they have economic importance. They have economic importance. Minerals generally is used in two terms. One is a chemistry term, one is the economy term. Chemistry term is a group of elements with a fixed chemical composition, with a fixed property. That is your chemistry definition. Mineral is a resource that it has some utility. Okay? Utility in the form of you can extract, you can use it for your purposes. So generally minerals जब आप पढ़ते हो newspapers में, you study it in the terms of utility. You got lithium, lithium can be used in renewable energy. You got lithium, lithium can be used for your solar energy batteries production. So you get to study in the terms of resource. But we are studying some bit of chemistry also because हमें क्या पढ़ना है? Plateaus, rocks and the other things. Okay? So what is, we said on the Earth's surface there are 2000 minerals that have been found. However, only six groups of minerals dominate the Earth's crust. It dominates the Earth's crust. There are 6 groups that dominate the Earth's crust. लिख लो एक बार. सल्फाइड पहले, अच्छा ठीक है, सल्फाइड, सल्फाइड, सिलिकेट, हाँ डी, सिलिकेट, हेलाइट, HALLIT, हेलाइट, हैलोजेंस होते हैं ना जो, हैलोजेंस हियर, ठीक है, हेलाइट, यू हैव कार्बोनेट्स, अभी मुझे 4 याद आ रहा है, ठीक है, 2 याद कर लेना. देयर आर 6 बेसिकली दैट डोमिनेट्स एंड इस 6 में भी सबसे ज्यादा जो डोमिनेट करता है दैट इज योर सिलिकेट ग्रुप ऑफ मिनरल. नियरली 80% ऑफ द अर्थ्स क्रस्ट इज मेड अप ऑफ सिलिकेट ग्रुप ऑफ मिनरल्स, ठीक है, एटसेट्रा, राइट. द सिलिकेट, इट इज द सिलिकेट ग्रुप, इज द सिलिकेट ग्रुप, अरे यहाँ पे है, इट इज द ऑक्साइड्स, ऑक्साइड एंड सल्फेट्स, ऑक्साइड्स एंड sulfates. I did not make you write to oxides and sulfates. Okay. It is mainly the silicate group that dominates. It is mainly the silicate group that dominates. Okay. So, have you written the definition of minerals? Write the definition of, write the definition of minerals. Minerals is a naturally occurring inorganic substance having an orderly atomic structure, and a definite chemical composition, and a definite chemical composition and physical property, and physical property. Okay. So you understand what is an element, you understand that element cannot be further subdivided, you understand when the elements come together they make up the minerals. We have various types of minerals on the surface of earth, nearly 2000 type of minerals can be found, but 6 they dominate, 6 group of minerals they dominate. In the 6th group it is the silicate that dominates the most. We understand what is mineral. Also write rocks, also write rocks. Rocks are natural, rocks are natural aggregate of minerals. Rocks are natural aggregate of minerals. They, however, they do not have definite composition. They do not have definite composition of mineral constituents. Mineral constituents. ठीक है, तो उनका कोई डेफिनेट कॉम्पोजिशन नहीं है. रॉक्स आर जस्ट नेचुरल एग्रीगेट, दे डू नॉट हैव डेफिनेट chemical composition of the mineral constituents. What is the source of minerals on the earth's crust? There is element. From the element you have minerals. From the minerals you have rocks. Where is the mineral coming on the earth's surface? The source of mineral is your magma in the interior of the earth. Now understand, if a magma has come from the interior and magma has come up and become the lava has solidified and had become the very hard rock. This hard rock, igneous rock. This hard rock, can I say this hard rock will have lot of mineral resources? Because lot of magma came, the magma solidified, became a lava. This has become a hard rock. The hard rock generally seen in the peninsular plateaus, generally seen in the plateaus. The plateaus are kya? Plateaus are the solidification of the lavas, the solidification of the lava that has formed the hard rock. Okay, therefore we understand the majority of the minerals are found where? They are not found in the hilly regions. The majority of the minerals are not found in the plain regions. They are found in the plateau regions. हमारे इंडिया में कहाँ मिलते हैं सबसे ज्यादा मिनरल्स? छोटा नागपुर प्लाटू. उसके बाद कहाँ मिलते हैं मिनरल्स? Where do you get the second minerals? The second mineral belt is Karnataka plateau. Why in the plateaus do you have minerals? Because plateaus are formed by what? Solidification of the lava. The hard rock that has been formed by the solidification of lava has become the plateau, and therefore you have lot of minerals in the plateau and not in the sedimentary rocks. You do not have lot of minerals in the metamorphic rock. Wherever you will have what? Igneous rocks, there you will have the minerals. Okay. So right, the source of the minerals, the source of the minerals is hot magma. The source of the minerals is hot magma. Okay, full stop. When the magma cools, it solidifies to become igneous rock. Which has lot of mineral resources. ठीक है, simple element to mineral to rocks. Now just write the types of rocks. The types of rocks, you know about this, right? The types of rocks. What are the types of rock? Igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. The types of rock, first igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Last time in 2022 they asked a question on which rock? मेंस का क्वेश्चन, 2022 का क्वेश्चन, मेंस का क्वेश्चन. Nobody knows. Yes, asked, give the characteristic feature of the primary rocks with examples. Give the characteristic feature of the primary rocks with example. What is a primary rock? Igneous rock. Okay. There are three types of rock: igneous rock, sedimentary rocks, and the metamorphic rocks. Right? Igneous is the primary rock. Igneous rock is the primary rock. So, what is the rock? You have the igneous as the primary rock formed by the solidification and cooling of the lava. When there is erosion of the sediments they come together, they are attached, they lithify. Sediments the sediments they came together, they got attached, they lithified, they formed the layers. You got what? You got the sedimentary rock. The sedimentary rock and the igneous rock under lot of temperature and pressure change became what? Metamorphic rocks. Can somebody give me an example of some examples of igneous rocks? Graphite, granite bol, granite, granite. Anybody else? और कौन से example? Question means का question पूछा हुआ है, simple question है. You know what is rocks? Rocks is aggregation of minerals that are not in the definite chemical composition. ठीक है? Then what are the types of rocks? The rocks can be classified on the basis of formation, genetic formation. Genetic is on the basis of formation. The types of rock on the basis of formation is igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock. Igneous rock is formed because of the solidification and cooling of the lava. Metamorphic rock, sedimentary rock is the sediments. When any rock that got eroded, it got sedimented. There were sediments. The sediments they came together to form the sedimentary rock. Under lot of change of pressure and temperature, there is a various kind of rock, a different kind of rock called as metamorphic rock. यही है ना rocks? ये तो पता है. This is known. Anybody who doesn't know this, बता दो please. Okay, ठीक. So this is the rocks that is there. This is the rocks that is there. Example of igneous rocks, example of metamorphic rocks, or for that matter, characteristics पता है? Do we know the characteristics? What are the characteristics of igneous rock? What is the characteristics of metamorphic rock? What is the characteristics of sedimentary rock? ठीक है, लिखो. What are types of rocks? Igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. You can write genetic classification. You can write genetic classification. इसको जहाँ पे types लिखा है वहाँ पे लिख लो genetic है ये. Genetic classification. ठीक है. Genetic classification means on the basis of genesis, on the basis of formation, on the basis of origin. ठीक है. First rock is igneous rocks, right? Igneous rocks. That is also called as primary rocks. They are also called as primary rocks. First point, igneous means fire. Igneous means fire. Igneous means fire. They are formed due to cooling, solidification. They are formed due to cooling and solidification. They are formed due to cooling and solidification of molten material of magma या lava. ठीक है, लिख लिया ये. They are formed due to cooling and solidification of molten magma or lava. Molten magma or lava. Features क्या है igneous rock के? Igneous rocks are crystalline in nature. They are crystalline in nature. Crystalline in nature. They are non-fossiliferous. Can I find fossils in igneous rocks? No. Why? Why can't I find fossils in igneous rocks? Because magma जब आ रहा था, it was so hot that all the fossils what happened? They burnt and they dissolved into the magma. Magma is coming, right? As the magma is coming here, from where? This magma chamber. A magma is coming. As the magma is coming, it is burning all the fossils. It is dissolving all the fossils. So I can have igneous rocks which will not have fossils. So what is there? The igneous rock is non-fossiliferous. It does not have fossils. Characteristics में non-fossiliferous. First characteristic, crystalline. Third characteristic, it is unstratified. Just write unstratified. What do you mean by unstratified? It cannot be separated into layers. एक example जैसे granite. Can you separate granite into layers? Can you separate 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer? If you break granite, it breaks entirely. But if you compare that what with sandstone, any sandstone, or for that matter limestone, you can easily take out the layers of it. एक कोई sandstone है, आप layers को परत by परत आप उसको निकाल सकते हो. But a igneous rock, once you chisel it, it will break entirely. It cannot be layered. ठीक है. So what are the characteristics of igneous rocks? It is non-fossiliferous. It is unstratified. ठीक है. And what about the igneous rock? It is formed because of the cooling and solidification of magma and lava. It is also crystalline in nature. ठीक है. What is crystalline? It has a definite structure. एक definite structure जब होता है उसको बोलते हो crystalline. What is crystalline? This is how your crystal actually looks. This is the crystalline structure. It has some internal arrangement. उसको बोलते हो crystalline. ठीक है. These are the features. Example लिखो igneous rock के. Example of igneous rocks are granite, gabbro, granite, gabbro, basalt, pegmatite, you have volcanic breccia, ये सब नाम है, volcanic breccia, and tuff, TUFF, ये सब NCERT के नाम है, so you should know. These are the names of NCERT, so you should know. So what are the names? You have basalt, volcanic breccia, tuff, pegmatite, gabbro and granite. Write some more examples. Right? Andesite, ANDESITE, andesite. ठीक है. Right? Comatite, KOMATITE, comatite. Right? Diorite, DIORITE, diorite. Right? Rhyolite, RHYLOITE, rhyolite, RHYOLITE, rhyolite. Andesite. Basalt लिख लिया. Have you written basalt? You've written comatite. Have you written granite? You've written diorite. Gabbro लिखा, लिखो gabbro, GABBRO, gabbro. And एक है peridotite, PERIDOTITE, PERIDIOTITE. This is the peridotite. ठीक है. So what? Okay. So what is happening is, see, I am saying there are 3 types of rocks on the basis of the formation. What are the formation? One is the igneous rocks, the other is the metamorphic rock, and you have the sedimentary rock. The igneous rocks, they are formed by what? The igneous rocks, they are formed because of the cooling and solidification of magma or the lava. What is magma? What is magma? What is magma? Solidified lava? नहीं. देखो, if I talk about the interior of the earth, wait, if I talk about the interior of the earth, this is what? This is the crust, this is the mantle. From the mantle, the liquid that is coming from the mantle, there is a liquid that is coming from the mantle, okay. As it is coming from the mantle, it is coming to the crust. This is what you have. The liquid that comes from the mantle is called as magma. As it is coming, it is very, very hot. Any fossil or any dead, what is fossil? Any dead organism which comes in contact with this hot magma, it will dissolve or it will burn. So what will happen? When this hot liquid cools on the earth's crust, what do we call this as? We call this as the igneous rocks. So can this igneous rock have any dead organism? No. Can granite, if you talk about granite, if you break granite, कभी कोई अंदर से fossil दिखेगा, कोई dead organism दिखेगा? नहीं. Why? Because the magma has burnt it or dissolved it. Okay. So what is magma? Magma is a hot liquid that is coming from the interior of the earth, from the mantle. So I am saying, see, there are 3 types of rocks: igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks and the sedimentary rocks. Igneous rocks, they are formed because of the cooling and solidification of magma or lava. Lava और magma में क्या फर्क है? जब तक को वो इंटीरियर में है, as long as it is within the earth's interior, that is called as magma. When it comes on the surface, it is called as lava. ठीक है, so you have rocks, igneous rock, metamorphic rock and the sedimentary rock. Igneous rocks, इसको भी देख सकते हो if you want to understand. See, this is the magma chamber. Okay, suppose this is the mantle. From the mantle, the hot liquid is coming. The hot liquid comes, as it comes on the contact, if it solidifies on the earth's crust, above the earth's crust, this is, or it can also solidify within the earth's crust. Earth crust के अंदर भी solidify कर सकता है और बाहर भी solidify कर सकता है. ठीक है, so firstly let's understand igneous rocks. Igneous rock is formed because of the fire. The word igneous means fire. It is formed because of cooling and solidification of magma or the lava. What are the features? It is crystalline in nature. There is some particular arrangement. There is no fossils. It is non-fossiliferous in nature, and you cannot separate it into various layers. It is unstratified in nature. Okay. Then within the igneous rocks, I can further classify them into various types. I can classify igneous rocks into, on the basis of the size of the crystal, whether the crystal is big or the small. I can further classify igneous rocks on the basis of where it is found. कहाँ पे मिल रहा है? Is it getting found in the interior of the earth's crust or it is found on the exterior of the earth's crust? I can classify it on the basis of silica content. What is the percentage of silica in the igneous rocks? I can further classify the igneous rocks. First type of classification is whether the size of the crystal is big or small. Second is if it has high silica or low silica. Third, I can classify where it is found, whether it is found here on the earth's crust or what is the size of the crust. The size of the crust is around, let's say, what is the size of the crust? The size of the earth's interior is what? 6,400 kilometer. ये देख लिया था, radius. The first layer is crust, the second layer is mantle, the third layer is core. What is the thickness of the crust? 30 to 60 kilometer. So if this is my earth's crust, if it is found on the earth's crust and on the surface that I am standing, this is called as what? Extrusive igneous rocks. When it is solidifying somewhere inside, let's say at around 30 kilometer, we will call this as intrusive igneous rocks. So you can further classify igneous rocks into the intrusive igneous rock or the extrusive igneous rocks, where it is cooling, whether it is cooling within the crust or whether it is cooling outside the crust. This is extrusive igneous rocks, this is intrusive igneous rocks. I can further classify on the basis of whether the size of the crystal is big or the size of the crystal is small. Example देखो, have anybody seen granite? Have you seen granite rock? Granite, marble जिससे आपका slab बनता है, kitchen slab. Have you seen granite? No. This is how your granite actually looks. Can you see this? This is how the granite looks. Can you see lot of crystals in it? In the granite, lot of crystals can be seen. But in the basalt, can you see crystal? You will not be able to see crystal. So this has large crystal, this has small crystal. This crystal can be seen from the naked eye. The crystals cannot be seen from the naked eye. So on the basis of crystals, I can further classify. I can also classify them of where are they being found. Are they being found within the earth's crust or the on the exterior of the earth's crust? So please write one line. Igneous rocks can be further, igneous rocks can be further classified into intrusive igneous rocks, first में लिखना, first point, it can be further classified into one, intrusive igneous rocks and extrusive igneous rocks based on the location, ठीक है, इसी में लिखें, those igneous rocks that are formed by cooling of magma inside the earth's crust, inside the earth's crust is called intrusive igneous rocks. ठीक है, एग्जाम्पल ग्रेनाइट, एग्जाम्पल ग्रेनाइट. ठीक है, तो अगर ग्रेनाइट की माइनिंग करनी होगी तो आपको पूरा डीप तक माइन करना पड़ेगा, तब जाके आपको ग्रेनाइट मिलेगा. ठीक है, देन द रॉक्स दैट आर फॉर्म्ड, the rocks that are formed from the cooling of magma above the earth's surface, is called extrusive igneous rock, example basalt, right. The second type, igneous rocks on the basis of size of crystal, on the basis of the size of crystal, can be classified into two types. First, fine crystalline rocks. छोटे छोटे क्रिस्टल हैं, फाइन क्रिस्टलाइन रॉक्स, राइट. द क्रिस्टल्स आर नॉट विजिबल टू द नेकेड आई, इसमें डैश करके, द क्रिस्टल्स आर नॉट विजिबल टू द नेकेड आई. इतने छोटे छोटे हैं, इतने फाइन हैं, द क्रिस्टल्स आर नॉट विजिबल टू द नेकेड आई. एग्जाम्पल basalt, and the second one, the large crystalline rocks, इसमें लिखें, the crystals are visible to the naked eye, the crystal is visible to the naked eye. Example granite, just write one line. Generally the extrusive igneous rocks, have fine crystals, whereas the intrusive igneous rocks have large crystals, ठीक है. क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है? Why? I always ask this why. बहुत क्वेश्चन होते हैं मेरे दिमाग में. Why is this happening? Like no. See, suppose something that cools very fast, will it have sufficient time to arrange itself? When it cools slowly, it can arrange itself. What is crystalline nature? Arrangement. So if it is cooling fast, it will not have time to arrange itself. But if it cools slow, it can arrange itself. So once it can arrange itself, intrusive igneous rock, they will have good big crystals. If they do not have time to arrange itself, it will have soft fine crystal. So extrusive igneous rock, they have fine crystal, basalt, andesite. But intrusive igneous rocks, they have large crystals. Example granite. Okay, you can look at here also, granite. You've got large crystal. If you look at basalt, you cannot see the crystals from the naked eye. Crystals dikh hi nahi rahe, they cannot even arrange its its minerals into a crystalline format. So this is what is the igneous rock, the second type, right? The third type, igneous rocks can be classified into acidic or basic, can be classified into acidic rock or basic rocks on the basis of silica content, on the basis of the silica content. Okay. Acidic rocks, they have more of silica. Acidic rocks, they have more of silica, whereas basic rocks, they have less of silica. They have less of silica content. Okay. What was the question that was asked in your examination? The question that was asked in 2022. The question is, write the question. Describe the characteristics and types of primary rock. Describe the characteristics and types of primary rock. ठीक है? You know, understand what are the characteristics of primary rock? Three types, three characteristics. क्या? They are crystalline, they are non-fossiliferous, they are unstratified. These are the three characteristics. What are the types? You can type saying intrusive, extrusive, crystal, large crystal, small fine crystals, high silica, low silica, with the examples. Okay. In this type of question, you can start off in the introduction defining what is igneous rock. The diagram can be about the cooling of the igneous rocks inside and outside. Okay. Then you can write the characteristics, then you can write the types. Conclusion कैसे करोगे? How will you conclude? What will you write in the conclusion? पूरा आंसर तो बता ही दिया, conclusion बताओ. What will you conclude? How will you conclude? Fine, okay. Who said that? The importance of the igneous rocks. You can talk about the importance of igneous rocks. You can say igneous rocks are important. What is the importance of igneous rocks? Granite कहाँ use होता है? For building material. It is used for building material. Igneous rocks, when solidify and cool, they can become the highlands and the plateaus. Example, Chota Nagpur plateau made up of igneous rocks. They can form, and they are what? Mineral hubs. They are the mineral hubs. They can be used as building material. They can solidify and become tall structures like plateaus. They are the hubs of the mineral resource. You can also use, see, any type of rock can be used for building material. Any type of rock can be used in your cosmetics. पता नहीं हम क्या क्या लगा रहे हैं, ठीक है? So any type of rock can be used in cosmetics. It can be used in your toothpaste and other thing. तो नहीं समझ आए तो बहुत important है. Cosmetics में use होते हैं, building material के लिए use होते हैं. This is the question that you have. Write the question. ठीक है? This is the question. Not right now, but write the question and submit the answers. In my next class, I hope you will give me the answers. ठीक है? If you give me the answers, I can give you the handout. So this is from my side for today. Thank you so much.